Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Rafale today, guys. It's the same way that we did yesterday. So yesterday we talked a little bit about the Eurofighter, and we actually, well, if we actually deserve, or if we are actually prepared for the Eurofighter. And there I put it two questions there, or two ideas, that we are prepared if we start to receive the Fox 3 missiles, because if we don't, these aircraft will kind of not have a place, because the main armament of these aircraft are the Fox 3 missiles for the air-to-air combat together with the IR. So we would have basically half the weaponry. Of course, I'm ignoring the cannon a little bit, but you know what I mean, right? And there's the problem, guys. The real question here is that, is the community, are you as a player willing to have something like the Rafale or the Eurofighter or even the Gripen that is already in the game added to the game without these weaponry, with just IR missiles, or even with a capped kind of missile like the Skyflash is in the Gripen? Are you willing to do that if these radar missiles are added? Because I gotta be honest, and by the way, how did I kill a howitzer with a Super 530? I will never understand, but yeah, I did. But yeah, guys, basically, like, is it really worth to actually receive these aircraft without the proper armament? It's the same question that we always asked about the MiG-29s not receiving the R-73 into the SMT in the game in the G, right? Or the MLD that didn't have the R-60Ms for a very long time, while the MiG-23M had it because of balancing. It all comes down to that, right? Is it really worth it? Well, I guess so, but only if it's temporary, right? If they are confirming that these missiles are going to be added soon. And I think they already did. So at the end of the day, I think even if we receive something like the Rafale or the Eurofighter in the next patch, remember the next patch starts with the devlogs in the mid-February probably, and then the actual patch on like the first 2 weeks of March. So we are getting there. I mean, it's like it's 1 month until the start of devlogs, and then things are going to move quickly after that. So we are getting there. It's like, it has a while to happen, but still, it is going to happen. And if it was the case that an Eurofighter is added for Germany, for example, for Italy, but they don't receive, or even the Rafale for France, they don't, and they add it without the Mikas and the Imo-20s and everything like that, I think it would be fine. If in the next patch after that we receive the Fox 3. So are we prepared for the aircraft? Well, in the performance side of things, yes, they are. And the Rafale is the objective to talk about it here, a little bit better than everything that we have in the game. So it would be like the Gripen. You know, the Gripen, as you know, if you are playing top tier, is an aircraft that is quite the good aircraft. It's a very, very good aircraft. It's amazing. It had to have its performance a little bit nerfed, and the actual the actual BR had to be increased, right? So it is an amazing aircraft. So imagine that, but being a little bit better, with a better radar and even better performance in general. So yes, it is worrying, but it is the next step up. It is these 4+ generations, or 4.5, or whatever you want to call it, the future of the tech trees, you know. So I think we might as well just jump for that. But there is another option over here. There is another option. And I think personally it's a better one. So there are nations that were limited to getting aircraft without receiving something like the Gripen. The Swedish were a very big one, and the UK was as well a big one. And they both received the Gripen. To be the counter of the Gripen, of course, in the main nations and other nations, we have these Su-27s, the MiG-29s, the F-15s, the F-16s. The Mirage 2000s, all of these aircraft that can actually deal with the Gripen fine in the way that it is. So in the performance side of things, everything is at least semi-balanced right now. But they confirm that they are working on the Fox 3. So before we receive something like the Rafale, I think we should receive the missiles first. And at the end of the day, to answer the question, in my opinion, like, even though I just said that if it was going to be added without the IR missiles, etc., we would be prepared. I think it's better and would be better prepared if all of the aircraft that we have right now receive the Fox 3. So, for example, a very clear example of this is the Mirage 2000-5, right? We are flying it right now, and remember, this aircraft actually can take the same missiles as the Rafale. And the radar is still amazing. Although, yes, of course, the Rafale's radar is way better than this thing, but the performance of this aircraft is amazing. It has a lot of speed. It has a lot of dogfighting capability. It can win a lot of aircraft. Yes, it will lose here and there, but in general, it can beat a lot of aircraft if you know what you're doing. Has an amazing energy retention, having a lot more power than the original Mirages. It turns very well because of delta wings, and the missiles are pretty good. But of course, if they add the Micas, it will solve the main problem that the Mirage has, which is the quantity of missiles that this aircraft has, and even the quality of the radar missiles. Because although the Magic is a very good missile as an IR platform, the Super 530D, although it can be used, it isn't the greatest thing ever. I still much rather have a Sparrow or a R-27, right? So the Mica would bring the Mirage at least, and I say this like in a very careful way, at least on the same par with other Fox 3 missiles that would be added to the Russians and Americans and everybody else. Of course, the Mica is an amazing missile. A missile that in short ranges, less than I think 10 kilometers or something like that, it can pull 50 Gs, man. So even in its IR version, it would already be probably the best missile in the game, one of the best. Together with the radar one being active, it would be an incredible machine. Meaning that at the end of the day, we don't need a Rafale for now. Until everybody receives the Fox 3s and we actually are ready to jump to the 4+ in every single nation, I don't think we are kind of prepared. And I think they should add the Fox 3s. Doesn't mean that it will take a lot of time. Remember, like 1 year ago we had the first F-16s and MiG-29s, and now look where we are. So I think this would be the first step. And then add the Rafale together with an Eurofighter or something like that afterwards, when we are ready, when everybody has Micas and everything like that. Or, I mean, at least add it in the same patch. That would be incredible as well. That would help a lot to be a little bit more balanced. But in my honest opinion, I think things should be a little bit moved like slower in this type of scenario. So add the Micas first, add the R-77s to the aircraft that they can have it, the M120s, everything like that. Everybody's already with an aircraft or close to an aircraft that can receive that. Even countries like Germany can receive the F4F-Is that could help and everything like that. But yes, there are holes there. I mean, maybe the Eurofighter could be added before just because of Germany and Italy. They could receive something like that. But at the end of the day, I think it would be smarter to just go slowly and add these aircraft in a more, well thought manner. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about the Mirage or the Rafale, if it should be added right now, if the game is actually prepared for it. Let me know in the comments. I see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.